Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Indian government has sent a loud warning to Pakistan that the Indus Water Treaty is one-sided, it is not feasible and needs to be amended. New Delhi is not prepared to carry forward the 1960 Indus Water Treaty and share water with Pakistan in its current form. The Modi government sent a notice to Islamabad on the 30th of August to either come to the table now or not cry about it later. So what is the Indus Water Treaty? Why does India want to change it? And you wouldn't believe how the World Bank created a mess and escalated the IWT issue. While Islamabad is sure to raise a hue and cry over it, let's get one thing cleared first up. India has a legal right to send such a notice to Pakistan under Article 12(3) of the Indus Water Treaty, which allows provisions to be modified from time to time by the two governments. This is not the first time India is raising this either. Pakistan refused to discuss the issue with India during the meetings of the Permanent Indus Commissioners. 5 such meetings were held between 2017 to 2022. So, after considerable deliberations, Prime Minister Modi has decided to take a tougher stance and sent a notice to Pakistan to correct this historical wrong. Now, India has 3 concerns regarding this treaty, which was signed on the 19th of September 1960 between Jawaharlal Nehru and Pakistan President Ayub Khan. Firstly, there has been a massive change in population and demographic realities on the ground since 1960. There is a greater need for agricultural and civilian needs in Jammu and Kashmir, which the Indian government simply cannot allow to be ignored. The treaty needs to reflect the current on-ground scenario. Secondly, New Delhi has vowed to be a global leader in clean energy transition and needs to tap into its hydropower potential to cut down emissions from coal power or oil. India would be foolish not to utilize this natural resource. Just look at China, as it is damming rivers like Brahmaputra and Mekong at the cost of India and ASEAN nations. Thirdly, and most importantly, India cannot honor the IWT as long as Pakistan continues to support cross-border terrorism by pushing terrorists into India with an aim to hamper development in Jammu and Kashmir and beyond. Given these 3 reasons, New Delhi believes it is crucial to modify this treaty and has demanded Islamabad to discuss the same. Even now, India has opted for a path of discussion and diplomacy rather than take a drastic unilateral action, which New Delhi would have a right to take, given its humanitarian needs. So what is the Indus Water Treaty that has created quite a diplomatic storm? Signed in 1960 after 9 years of negotiations, the treaty clearly favors Pakistan. India allowed it as back then the Nehru government had a far more lenient view of Islamabad and had a rosy image of its neighbor. The World Bank was a signatory to this treaty. But just 5 years after its signing, India and Pakistan plunged into a bloody war with a second war in 1971. Despite victory in both the wars and division and breakup of Pakistan, India still honored its commitment by allowing the flow of water as agreed under this treaty. The IWT even survived the Kargil conflict in 1999 and the Mumbai terror attacks in 2007 carried out by Pakistani terrorists. But enough is enough. It is not going to be the same anymore. The Indus Water Treaty is not just about the river Indus. It encompasses water flow from 6 northern rivers including Indus, Chenab, Jhelum, Beas, Ravi and the Satluj. According to the IWT, India has complete control over eastern rivers of the Indus system, namely Beas, Ravi and the Satluj, which have an annual flow of just 33 million acre-feet, while the 3 western rivers, Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, have an annual flow much higher at 136 million acre-feet, which were deemed to be under Pakistani control. So how did India allow it? I'm quite shocked how the Nehru government in 1960 accepted such lopsided terms. The water sharing is clearly not equal and needs to be corrected at the earliest. The IWT allows India to construct run-of-the-river hydroelectric projects even on the western rivers, as well as build water storage capabilities. As far as agriculture is concerned, India only irrigates 0.79 million acres of land from these western rivers, while it is allowed to irrigate 1.3 million acres, or nearly double of the current capacity. So there is massive scope for growth. All this while Pakistan has been creating hurdles in the Kishanganga and Ratle hydro projects in India, citing the lenient terms of the Indus Water Treaty. So, India approached both the World Bank and Pakistan to discuss the issue and modify the treaty. But guess what the World Bank did? In an unprecedented and unhinged move, the World Bank initiated two simultaneous legal processes. Firstly, a legal arbitration, and secondly, negotiations through an independent expert. New Delhi, though, has rejected the arbitration process and is favoring a review by an independent expert. The Indian government had to explain to the World Bank that two simultaneous legal processes could lead to two different judgments, which could contradict each other and make the position of the World Bank contradictory, and that the move is against the World Bank's own prescribed three-step mechanism. So in 2016, the World Bank accepted India's argument and paused the two simultaneous legal processes and instead urged India and Pakistan to discuss the issue. But as we all know, Islamabad and progress are poles apart, and Pakistan has not shown any interest in nuanced discussions despite several invitations by India. So the big question remains, should India continue to honor the lopsided Indus Water Treaty, or should the Modi government prioritize the needs of its 1.4 billion Indians and just tell Pakistan to go take a hike? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.